Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my bike build. I'm going to be doing a seal kit repair and bushing on my reverse shocks. As you can see right here is the culprit right here where it is leaking. My last video that I did not have a coil spring depressor to depress the bushing so I could get to the nut to take the cap off and to pour all the oil out and all that good stuff. So, but basically, yeah, I went to Home Depot. I made a makeshift tool that I'm going to be using to take the shock apart with. So, anyways, yeah, basically, I got my hub back, and it's still the wrong one. The inside of the hub, mine is 5 millimeters, and this one's like 4.5 millimeters. So once again, I have to send it back, and they said occasionally they get some that are bad, so they're gonna call them, I guess, and let them know that I've gotten 2 bad hubs. And basically what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna reuse my old hub. I didn't want to reuse it because it had some wear marks on it, but I think it's gonna be okay. But for now, until I can get one for the bike, I'm just gonna reuse my old hub. But anyway, so basically this is a kit we're gonna be using right here. My all balls kit right here, and we're going to be using Maxima, I think. Yeah, Maxima Racing fork oil. So basically, yeah, this is what we're doing here. So this is the fun part. Anyways, I'm going to show you this thing that I made. And don't laugh, but it works pretty good. So it's a lot better than spending like $170. The cheapest one I could find was $140, and it's just a tool I'm not going to be using all the time. And this one works just as well. It's a little difficult to maneuver things around with, but it does work well. So, but anyways, we're going to remove the cap on this here. So this is our initially plan what we're doing here. But yeah, so they sent me the wrong hub twice, and I don't know, mine's a steel hub. I got a cast aluminum hub, which would have been nice because it's really light and it makes a little bit of a difference, you know, with weight and stuff. But basically I kind of got irritated with them today, and they did apologize. They said they were sorry, and they would try to get a hold of the people where they were getting them from. And yeah, so I'm left with that right there. But I did get my plunge case for my camera. Right now I have a UV filter on it. I think it's a 4, but that was nice, exciting today. And this oil stinks really bad. So basically, I know that these shocks take 450 milliliters, or actually forks, excuse me. I want to retard and say forks. Shocks, whatever. Actually, dampeners. So anyways, yeah, 450 milliliters. So that would be, it takes a pint, and which is pretty cool. Or in a, what would that be? 16 ounces is 2 cups. This right here. So, but we're just gonna drain this all into here before we do anything. Actually, I think what I'm gonna do is I might go ahead and spin this around so I could take it apart and actually show you guys this tool that I'm using. Basically, these holes here, there's a tool that you can order that actually clamps around this, okay? And then there's a long pole, and basically it's got a screw that screws down like that that actually compresses this down. So it pulls this down and you have a nut under here, and then you loosen that up, unscrew the cap, pull this off, pull the spring out, you can dump the fluid out, or you can dump the fluid out now. So, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this down and just see if I can pull it down. See how tight that is in there. So you want to get this to where you can get the screws inside the two to pull this down. So, but basically that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop the camera, and because I got fluid all over me, and I'm going to stop the camera, I'm going to wipe my hands off and take the camera over there and show you what's going on with the tool that I made. So do that, and we're going to get this going. The shock seal and the dust seal, shock seal, and this is the sequence that we're using here. I had to build a makeshift tool because you can actually buy these coil spring depressors online for like $197. So I went down to Lowe's and I bought some parts to make this actually compress this spring to get this part off here. It actually goes onto here like this here. This goes in there like this. The spring goes down. This goes over the top of the spring like that, as you can see, and then this goes into the shock tube. So basically that's what I'm doing, and I'll show you the makeshift tool that I bought real quick. This is just a short video here real quick. So basically I bought this U bracket here. I bolted it to a load bearing stud in the wall with these two bolts here, these measurements right here. And basically you unscrew the top cap where those two holes are in the spacer, you put it in here, drop the shock down, and basically what I used was a hydraulic jacked it up. This cost me 20 bucks, people, to make this. So I mean, it's a lot cheaper than $170 on eBay for the part. I'm not going to be using it that much. That's simple basic stuff that you can buy at Lowe's, and $20. So, and I can use this all the time to change the seals in there. So basically that's what I got going on. We're going to get this one rebuilt. For that little bit of time I cleaned up this here, made sure there was no burrs and stuff in it, because you want to make sure that this thing's rolling freely on there, or actually this one here when you go to put it on there. And I got most of the oil drained out, and I took some cleaned up the outer shock, or the outer fork tool, I cleaned that up and got that all sprayed out. You can use brake clean or whatever you want to use on it. I cleaned up this here and some other parts here I cleaned up, but anyways, getting back at it. So basically everything's all sequenced out here. This is basically how it's going to go back on. You want to make sure, make a mental note of this. Like if you're taking the shocks out, off, or the forks apart, just made a mental note of this. Even take a picture with your cell phone or whatever. So basically you can see the dirtiness that I took out of here. This is actually right at a little under, just little under a pint. So I know, you know, at least that little bit that's in here, it leaked out of there. And I'm just going to replace the oil that we put back in this. So but I'm going to put a pint back in it. So, because I know, you know, over time and stuff had been leaking out, and it got a bunch of goop and stuff around the end of the fork. So basically what we're going to do next is we're going to want to put our dust seal on here. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of this here. This is like off of an old milk carton or whatever, because basically you don't want anything rough over here cutting up the dust seal, and it just keeps the debris off of it. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to get some red grease. I got some red grease right here, and you're just going to basically get a little bit on your finger. I'm just going to apply it a little bit here like this. I'm going to rub this stuff on here real good. Just enough to cover it so the seal slides up over the top of it. Actually got maybe a little bit too much on there, but that's okay. A little more never hurt anybody, right? So we're just going to rub it in there real good like this. Make sure it's on there real good like that. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to cone this out. You're going to wrap it around here like this, and you're going to make a cone. Because basically you want the rubber to stay virgin on here. I'm sure you guys have seen other people do this on YouTube. So, but anyways, so we know that's to the earth, to the ground. So we're going to put this on there like this here. Make sure it's coned out pretty good, because you got to get this over the top of the seal. I have to stand up and do this. I got to see what I'm doing here. So it's just going to slide on there like that. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to bring it all the way to the bottom. And see, it's just keeping it, you know, virgin. It's keeping anything from touching this. Any little burrs or whatever you have down here, or nicks, or they won't. It'll help keep from cutting it up. And you're just going to slide this down here like this. And slide it all the way down. Until you get to the bottom here. And we're just going to slide it off like that. So you guys can see this. I'm just sliding that off. And then next, basically, we're going to do the same thing. I'll do the same thing with the actual fork seal. So we know this goes towards the inside. This goes towards the ground. So basically we're going to just put some more of this stuff on here. Some more grease. Lube her up real good. I mean, you wouldn't want to use a used condom, would you? So you want to get this all lubed up really good and make sure we're putting new rubber on there. Trying to make a joke, man. I'm not very good at talking and working at the same time. I always get distracted by other things and stuff, so I'm not trying to make this video too long, but just helpful hints and stuff that you can use. This milk carton, and we're just going to wrap this around here again like this, cone it out. Coned out real good. Probably have to stand up and do this again. Of course, we want to make sure that that's facing that direction. Get this wrapped up in there. The top of the seal there. Come on, get in there. There you go. And we're just going to follow the same procedure. Just going to push this down on there like that. Come on. Oh, this one's being a little tougher. Get on there. I'm going to stand up and do this real quick. Make it a little easier on myself here. Alright. Alright, we're getting that all slid down there. I'm just gonna unwrap this off. And what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna grab the outer fork tube. Wipe my hands off again. Grab the fork tube. I'm just gonna slide this down over the top of this here like that. So, let me wipe some of this off here. I don't need that much lube on it. Put some of this off. Oh, you can see where I cleaned that out, the inside. See how clean it is in there. That's with the brake clean. Made sure there was no dirt or anything in there. Cleaned it out real nice and good. So yeah, man, I'm getting excited about getting this thing finished. I can't wait. It's been a long time being, man. It's almost been a year. Well, it will be in what, June or July 9th, I think, is when I first bought the bike. Okay. We're just going to fit this down here like that. Slide that in there. And basically what you want to do is you want to take this bushing, stick this up in there, and then this is what holds it in there, this washer. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually turn this upside down, and we're going to take our fork seal driver and we're going to push that bushing down in there, and then next will come the seal, then the clip, and then the dust seal, and then we'll fill it up with oil, set the spring in there, and we'll be done. So anyways, I went ahead and I bought this kit here, which I wish I would have never done, because you can see these little plastics in here. I've got them from anywhere from 35 to 50 mil. The 50 millimeter has a hard time staying inside this thing when you're pounding on it. So if you do get one for your size of fork, or your forks, and then that way you can get the adjustable ones that have the rubbers on the outside. I wouldn't recommend using this one. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So, but anyways, we're gonna get this out here. Yay! Just go throwing it out of my hand. Make sure you got the right size that you're using, the right ones, because you don't want this to drive on the inside of the seal. You want this to, you know, you're going to be hitting this part of the seal, and you want it to be, see how that's sitting inside there? So it's hitting the outside of the seal, not the inside, because you see how it wants to like go inside there. So you want to make sure that you're hitting the outside of it, and it's driving the outside, not the inside. Okay, I'm gonna make some noise here, and it's really late right now. So this one in here a bit. Basically what you want to do is grab this here, set this down in here like that. Make sure that it fits good in there. This thing here is just kind of a pain in the ass. I don't really care for it all that much. This tool, I've seen different ones. So basically, you're just going to take this here. Well, you guys can't probably see that. Let me adjust the camera up here like this. See if I can adjust it up way up here. Spin this sucker around. Alright. Get the camera back on here. Trying to get this up adjusted where you guys can see what's going on here. So we're going to basically take this here. You're just going to tap this to where it bottoms out. You don't have to smack it real hard, just I still can't see that there. So basically what you're doing is you're knocking that bigger bushing down in there. You'll hear like a dead sound. Oh, ping no more. And I think we got it. I'm gonna do it down here real fast. Okay. I think we're bottomed out. It does sound like we're bottomed out. I'll try smacking it a couple more times. Make sure it's bottomed out. It's bottomed out. Okay. So basically, get the gist of it. Bottom that out. You can hear it's bottomed out. It ain't gonna go any further. It ain't gonna go any more. So I'm gonna get the camera down here again, as long as it doesn't fall down. I'm gonna take this off. I'll wipe my hands off again. So basically you can see that the washer's still there, but that bushing's down in there, and you can see where that bushing went, and make sure that it's all the way down in there where it's nice and flush. I don't know if you guys can see that in there. You can see where the bushing's at in there or not. There's a pretty good view of it. this down here like this. Then you're gently just going to bring your seal down. I hope I got enough grease on that. Yeah, there's plenty on there. Bring the camera back up here. This. There we go. So basically, you're just going to squeeze your seal in there with your fingers. It's all down in there real good, which I think it is. There we go. And you can take your seal driver. I do not like this seal driver. I got it off of eBay. I think I paid like 50 bucks for it or something like that. I wish I would have just bought the one that he was using. I watched Moonfleet, Del Boy's Garage. This guy's like the Chef Ramsay of motorcycle stuff. So, see what I'm talking about? This thing's like, it's a pain in the ass. The other one, it just has got like a clip and a spring around it, and it just goes right on there. This thing here has got to be a nuisance. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of force this down a little bit, make sure the seal's down in there, and kind of like so. So I just push the seal, if you can see it, I just push the seal down in there, and you're just going to smack on it until it deadens all the way down, until it gets past the little, there's a little ring part in there where the clip goes down inside there, the retaining clip to hold the seal in there. But I'm going to do this over here so I can get this seated real good. Put the camera down over here. I can't move the camera too much. I need a tripod, man. I'm going to slide this up. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but check it again just to see. Let me check this down in here. I don't think I got it quite far down enough. You can see down inside there kind of there's a place for that retaining clip to go into, and I almost got it all the way down. Not quite. You want it down far enough to where it's going to hold that in real good. So I'm going to bang on it a few more times and it should be good. Here we go again. And I think I just got it. Alright, good deal. Take this off. This off. Alright, looks like I got it all the way down in there. Just going to take a retaining clip, And put one side in first, and then the other side will go in. And you can push it down there with your fingers or with the screwdriver, whatever your preference is. If it won't go in with your fingers, it'll go in with the screwdriver. So, let me get this where you guys can see what I'm doing here. This little spring here. Move it around, push it down in there real good. Follow it up with the screwdriver if you have to. Like I said, just push it down in there. Just be careful not to scar up anything, or you don't have to pop it down in there real good, hard. You can see where it's going, so, and you can hear it clicking, you can feel it click in there, which it just did, which is awesome. Let me just make sure that it's down in there real good. There's a little a little area that it fits down into, so you'll know that when it's down in there, because it won't go any further. There's a space for it in there. You can see it in there, how it fits. Then I'm going to take some more of this red grease. Let me turn this light out. Let's get some more of this little bit red grease on my fingers here. Try not to make a mess with this stuff. I mean, it gets nasty. You only need a little bit like this right here. And you're going to want to put it around here. Like I said, you only need a little bit of it. Just what we did with the inside of the seal that I didn't think that I did, but I did do it. I already set it up with the grease and forgot that I did. So just put this around here, like that. And wipe your fingers off, and then this just slides right on there like that. Just pop it on there so it's still nice and good. Beautiful. Slides up and down nice. That's what we want. Now here comes the fun and time consuming part. So basically what we're going to do next is I already got this measured out and everything, is the fork oil. So basically what you want to do, sorry, I'm putting a piece of padding down here so when I dump this in it doesn't make a mess in case I do spill it. So you're going to turn this upside down like this. You're going to pull the dampening rod out, have it out like this. And I got my light over here already so I can look down in there and see and make sure that the oil's going down in there okay, because obviously something could go wrong and leak out or something, or if you didn't put the seal in right, I don't know. But anyways, you're going to pull your dampening rod up like this. Wipe my hands off again. You're going to take your shock oil, fork oil. I had a guy comment on me about saying shock instead of fork. So we're going to pour a little bit in there like this. You can hear it gurgling. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to pump all the air out of there. You hear it. You'll feel resistance And you're just going to pull this tube up, and you're going to start seeing the fluid come through the tube and back down in the inner tube. You can hear it. Hear it. And you're just going to do that a few times. And it is messy. And it will squirt out just like that, like it just did. So expect it to do that. Just be patient with it. I kind of can probably pour a little more in there. That's why we got rags. I'm going to take some of this that's left over in the bottle because some of this spilt out. And if it does, it's just a little bit. I don't think it's going to matter too much. Just pour whatever I had in there because I know this is 16 ounces of what's in there. Just do it nice and slow. Now, this said it was 90 milliliters from this, from what the factory had set this at. So when you, if you want, you can take a regular ruler and measure it from the top down to here to 90 mil, and it actually, the bottom of the ruler will be touching the fluid. So if you want to put some tape around one, you can, but basically, I know what came out of here. I know what goes back in it. I got most of it out of here. I'm just putting the amount that I took out right back in here. And it was right at 1 pint or 2 cups of this stuff, believe it or not, in here. So we're just, basically I'm pumping out all the air. I'm bleeding the air out of it. And this takes a few minutes to do this. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to pause the video and come right back. Alright, my camera is about to die, but anyways, basically what I was doing there is I was sucking out all the air bubbles that was living down inside of here. So you want to make sure all the air bubbles are gone, everything's level, and your fluid's good. And checking it just to make sure everything's in there and everything's fitting. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the spring on there. Make sure whichever end your spring is, because you have your spacer that goes in here that sits up on top like this, and you want to make sure that you have the right end in there. So if you know, if you do this, make a mistake. So you want to make sure the right end is in there. So we're just going to stick this in here. I got this wire here to help me hold the preload tube. I'm going to shove this down in there because basically this helps me when I go to put it back together. And I'm basically just going to use the same process that I did before, using the same tool but doing it in the, you know, the different way. So we're just going to stick this down in there like this. Got this wire here to hold this. And basically she looks like that, down in there like this. It's just to help me hold this up, and we're going to stick this down in there. I apologize if my camera dies. I will try doing the rest of it on my phone if I have to, but basically that's how this works. And I'm just going to use the reverse process of putting this back together. So what I'm going to do, I got to pause the camera again because I got to move over there, but basically this is how this goes back on there, and we're going to move over there. Alright guys, come take a walk with me over here. I had to take my gloves off. Let me grab my rag. So basically, same process. I got this here to lift the tube up. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to jack this up. I'm going to go grab my 14 mil wrench and the other top part of the shock. Hopefully you guys can see this over here. This really sucks. I got to get a tripod. I need help. So you can see me over here. 14 mil wrench. So basically, what you want to do is you want to have your jack, have these good and tight up there, and we're just going to depress this spring. Get it up in there. All the way to the top. Pull this to the top. Of course some fluid's going to come out. Of course it is. And I would be careful of doing it like this, just because of that's under pressure. I'm going to screw this on there first, actually, just in case, so you got something to grab it with. You're going to unwrap your string, or however you guys want to do this is up to you. This is just the way I did it, just so I had something that I could grab onto with this thing, because this rod keeps going down in there. I'm going to take this out, do away with this thing, and screw this down in there. Take your wrench. So I'm going to jack this up a little more. A little bit more room here. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see me doing this. Just basically going to tighten this down. It's pretty simple. I mean, the tool would probably be easier to have, but I mean, if you got the money and you want to spend the money on it, go, by all means do that. But I'm trying to do a budget thing here, and unfortunately that's just the way it has to be. So you don't want it too tight. You want to get it just snug. That's that. It's dropping down, back down in there. You want to release the pressure off your jack, so that it releases it down. It's gonna probably shoot some fluid out, especially if it's full. Let that fall down. I'm going to unscrew this. Actually, probably going to have to unscrew the other side. And I tried to leave this loose enough so you can just drop it out of here, but you want to be kind of careful, like I said, doing this, that you don't damage anything or scratch anything and whatnot. Just kind of slide it out. Having a problem trying to get this out. So I'm just going to suck this back up. Thank God it didn't damage anything, but that's it. See, it's kind of that's a little bit of a pain to put it back that way. So, but you guys can see the end result. We're just going to screw this back down, and we're going to be all done. I'm going to check and see if we got any leaks, other than me spilling a little bit of it out. So, I mean, it's a little bit of a job, but if you have the right tools, it's not too bad. So, like I said, it's your preference. If you want to get the tool, you can. If not, you can get something like that, like I just showed you there. So, wipe the shock off. Wipe my hands off. But anyway, that will probably conclude my video. The only other thing I need to do is I need to adjust the dampening on the shock itself, and I already took measurements for that, did all that good stuff. And so basically that's where we're at right now with this. My next video I'm probably going to be doing, I'm going to be taking my triple tree off my bike and stripping it, getting that all done. I'm getting it ready to take it to the powder coaters. And I did have a wrench, 30 mil, by the way. I'm just gonna tighten it up just for now, just to check and see if this thing holds. Camera back like that. Probably gonna be doing a lot of editing on this video. A lot. So I'm going to take this off here. I put this rag here just so it didn't bottom out on the seal, or down here in this cruddy area down in here. Nice and stiff. Well, I don't see anything leaking out. Maybe a little bit of grease on there. I don't see any little... Put the camera back up here for you guys so you can see it. Sorry about having to do this with the camera like this, but until I get a tripod, I can't do anything. You guys can see this here. See around here, see if you think anything's leaking out. Don't look like it to me. I don't see anything leaking. It's holding good. So I think that'll conclude my video. I'm going to adjust this dampening thing right here. And thanks for watching my video. And sorry about the camera movement and all that other stuff, but yeah, like I said, I try to work on the bike and then tell later. But since I do that a lot, I don't want to. I wanted to show you guys the stuff that I was doing to the bike and show you that I am mechanically inclined and can do some of this stuff myself. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys watching my video. Hit the like button or subscribe, and you all have a good evening. And till the next video, take care.